Hall, who has invented this awesome three-wheeler trike called a Talon. He's invited us down and he's going to let us drive these cars around. And he's also made me one. He made a red rocker one. Oh, there it is. Uh-oh. Look at this thing. Oh, shit. This Sandy Hall, he's the guy that invented this thing. This is the first time I've seen a completely done one, and look at this thing. It's intimidating. It's scary. I mean, I've driven race cars, NASCAR cars, and this thing's got me nervous, Sandy.
It's not that bad. It's actually very stable.
It won't turn over or anything like that?
Absolutely not. No way.
Yeah?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
But Sandy, how much horsepower does this thing have?
Power ratio is pretty amazing.
Yeah. 0 to 60?
Just under 4 seconds.
My LaFerrari's right around there, by the way. These seats are slamming.
Yeah, these are carbon fiber racing seats from Tillett in England, and we did some custom embroidery with the branding.
You get in there, you buckle yourself in, you feel safe.
You feel safe, yeah. Absolutely.
It's almost like
absolutely.
Just kind of don't want to get out once you get in.
Yeah, and it's amazing. you would look at this at first and think, oh, it doesn't seem like it'd be very safe, but it's got a wide stance in the front with the rear triangulation and the wide platform in the back. It's very stable.
Beautiful. I'm in love.
And you're gonna love the way it sounds and the way it rides.
Describe it. Just imagine twice the RPM than a normal car. The smell of the fuel is addictive. From the moment he accelerated, it was badass.
I personally would like to take mine out and be cruising like up, West Coast, Pacific Coast Highway, up north, beautiful weather.
But I gotta have one of those. Got to have one.
Hey, this sucker right here's got a little extra something. Okay, Mick Johnson out for a run. About a 5-mile drive, Vic.
Now, let me ask you a question. You sure you didn't bring a change of pants?
Oh, my God.
We need some towels over. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mick Johnson in the house. There he is. Woo! Connie, oh, this thing's running great. Ow! That's what I call a rock and roll road trip on Access TV. Welcome back, everybody. The way I look at it is like this, Mike. We're gonna shed 1 hour of light in the darkness.
Okay. And then
The lights are gonna
go back to
the
dark.
lights are gonna come on for 1 hour
Go back to the dark.
at Carolina Rebellion on this Saturday afternoon.
What we try to do is we try to mix it up. I call it widening the net, because if we were just an active rock festival, we'd only appeal to one narrow group of fans. But when we sprinkle in other elements like classic or hip hop or hardcore or whatever, we widen the net and we draw more people. And it's proven to be successful at several of the festivals we produce. Rocklahoma, now Rock on the Range, Carolina Rebellion for the first time this year. We started sprinkling in more classic rock.
I think it's what is important for the Circle to be on these a festival like this, is because we are in one package, and it's very special. A lot of bands don't have that kind of background where we got Van Halen, we got Sammy Hagar solo, we got Montrose, we got Chickenfoot, we got the Bus Boys, we got a little Zeppelin with Jason, and so in order to bring that to a crowd like this, I think it's really important. I think I feel an importance in this era.
It's something that we decided we wanted to try this year at Rebellion. We thought this year we'd take a chance and we'd bring in some more classic elements, but we wanted to be very careful about the classic elements that we brought in. Acts that we knew had a ton of hits, that were huge crowd pleasers and put on great live shows. That's kind of where the first name on the list was Sammy Hagar. Stuff. You've got Van Halen stuff, you've got Zeppelin. An incredible set of hits from start to finish. And I mean, as a music fan, I was intrigued by that. So I think that's the most compelling thing, is that, you know, you get a little taste of a lot of different artists during that one set with one.
Is what I want to be, the band that I want to be in. It isn't my band, it's becoming our band. It was just Sammy Hagar, and they were playing with me for about 2 shows. And then all of a sudden, I said, we need a name, right? And we came up with the Circle, and it's just been, you know, we will become the Circle to the whole world eventually. It's a good band. I feel like the old blues guys now. You know, it used to be rock and roll. You'd say, hey, you know, you're too old. You can't play rock and roll when you're over 40, over 30, whatever it is. And now rock and roll's become like the new blues. John Lee Hooker and B.B. King. I can see us and all of us being those kind of guys. We're like the old blues guys. We're gonna just play until we can't do it. I mean, if I ever walk out there and I'm healthy, I don't have a cold or nothing, and I can't sing anymore, I probably will quit. But you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably start playing guitar some more and just say, I'm going to be a guitarist for somebody. Let them sing.
Let's go now to the drummer in the Circle, Mr. Jason Bonham. Now, Jason has played with tons of great musicians. He's played with Slash, Ted Nugent, and most importantly, his dad's band, Led Zeppelin. Come on.
I think it was probably something that came naturally to me, and I was taught at a very, very early age. My first memory of a drum kit was about 4 years old, at the bottom of my bed for one Christmas. And it was a little white mother-of-pearl, miniaturized little drum kit that I would start playing. And basically what happened with Dad, my passion was motocross. I was very into motocross from age 11 and was pretty good at it. I was #2 in Great Britain on the 80cc bikes. And so that to me, the ritual was people would come over, I'd be asleep, he'd wake me up, and I would play drums for the likes of Paul McCartney or Paul Rogers or Jeff Beck, whoever was in town or around the house. It was, look at me, look at me. It's always been the same, really, I guess. But they all had one common denominator, was they all spoke really strangely about 2 a.m. Playing Led Zeppelin songs always has for me a love-hate relationship, because I think it's stuff I'm the most critical about in my own performance. My father was such an amazing musician and drummer. He had such a groove. It was unmatched by anybody, really. And I'm not just saying that because every drummer I speak to tells me the same things. To play the music, it's a great privilege and an honor to be even, you know, in the same breath as my father. In the last 10 years, it really has changed for me. I get a lot of work with different artists, and a lot of the times now it's from playing with them. They'll come to town, and like with the Circle, Sammy came into town, and Mikey, and I went to the show. Sammy came to me and said, "Do you know how to play Poundcake?" And I said, "Yep." Which was a lie, because I actually went to the car, bought it on iTunes, listened to it in the car, then run back to the stage and went, "We're good." Just had to recap. So it was, and then Sammy wouldn't let me off the stage. And he said, "Do you know so-and-so?" I said, "Yeah." So we just, next day he called me and said, "Do you want to," me and Mike was just saying, "Do you want to get together?" I said, "It's cool, you know, I'm very honored." Sammy's not a big worker. You know, he likes to work on stage with an audience, and that's kind of his thing. I think the first show I ever did with them, the entire 2-hour show, we hadn't done a sound check or rehearsed. And he just said, "You know them." And we literally went over the endings in the dressing room right before we went on stage. But Sammy, when we actually get together and we do work things out, for me, it's a blessing that Sammy feels comfortable enough that he knows we don't have to work that hard. Because he doesn't really like it to go wrong. He just, you know, he's got a confidence in us all that we'll, you know, we'll play. Sammy's persona, really professional. He's on the ball, as we say in England, focused. He's constantly working. You know, if we're not doing circle shows, he's doing his own thing. He's doing his own thing. So I feel very blessed and very, very fortunate that I get. All I've done all my life is just wanted to try and progress as a musician. I wanted to become a better musician. When I was drinking, I wanted to be a rock star. I really wanted to throw TV sets out windows, and I really wanted to trash cars. But the trouble is, I wasn't making the money that they were making. But I attempted to do it very badly. So I remember one day Jimmy Page said to me, "I think you're trying to impersonate the wrong John." And so once I focused again on now when I play with the Circle and Sammy and the guys, when we do Zeppelin songs, there's always something very special to me about those songs. So it's, you know, it's my time to take my hat off and say, "Dad, you know, you are the greatest there was."
Here we go. We're heading to the big stage. 45,000 people. This is the biggest crowd the Circle's played for yet. Kind of excited.
Just so I could go get back out on tour. I'd come home, I'd run in the studio, I'd write 10 new songs and perform it live and make it a hit to that audience because I was always a performer.
North Carolina, are you ready for this? Sammy Hagar and the Circle! At your service, North Carolina!
It just sucks the energy right out of you walking out in front of 50,000 people. And if ever, and not because maybe they, you know, you think, oh, well, if they don't love you, of course it sucks the energy out of you. They're not booing. I mean, even your hardest core fans.
Take you on the trail! This party has officially started!
This is something I've always dreamed of, you know. I didn't know who I was going to do this with. But at this level, when I look over at him, I'm like, yeah, man, this is all good. So, and to have the people cheering for you, man, it's an awesome feeling.
You in the back! You at the other stage! Everybody now! Everybody now! One more time! One more time! One more time! Yeah! Be the one, don't you eat the ice, take the vitamins, just tequila. Even in all, Yaniba! Más tequila, one shot, more tequila. Even in all, ay, 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 ay. Más tequila. Michael Anthony, Vic Johnson, we are the Circle at your fucking service. Old school rock, baby. Thank you.
It's really rewarding. I mean, when I walk off a stage from giant crowds, festivals, I'm drained. I mean, same show that I would do in a smaller place or something, I could do about an hour longer show at a place like the Cabo Wabo, which has 700 people. I could play about an hour longer than I can in front of like 50,000. It wipes you, man.
That was 45,000 people. We started out with about 15, and by God, they came. We started playing. Woo!
It's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's the pinnacle of any rock star's career is to headline a festival, or even just be on one.
It's cool. It's a cool thing. Guys got it going on, and I'm glad to be a part of it.